Hi everyone, we are working on our colored pencil techniques. We will be working on this practice sheet and filling in our different sections of overlapping different colors and creating new ones and blending them out. There is a link to this technique sheet on Google Classroom. If you do not have a link or a printer to print this out, that is okay. You are welcome to just draw the boxes and just practice it on a blank sheet of paper. A few things about this is we have our color spectrum up here. It just goes from all the colors, just like our rainbow. We got mixing different complementary colors. Complementary colors are ones that are right across from each other on the color wheel. And when you mix them, they turn like a brownish, yucky color. Color temperatures are the cool and warm version of that color. For example, we have red. The cool version is purple, and the warm version is orange. So when you are shading and drawing to know what to add for shadows or brighter areas, instead of adding, black to kind of muddy up the color, use the cool version to make it pop and stay bright. The very bottom is your modeling spheres in colored temperatures. This is just done in thirds of the color in their temperature, and then we are going to be burnishing them with a white colored pencil, and I want to show you how to burnish colored pencils to blend them out. So this one is complete right here. To know when it's a good complete form is that all the sections are filled in. They're bright. That means there's lots of layers and there's not many little white dots showing through your colored portions. This is one that's halfway done right here that I'll be working on, and here's the blank one to show you what it would look like, overall blank. But since this one is already being worked on, I'm going to go ahead and work on it a little bit more. The first one right here is the complementary colors. To know that they look really bright next to each other, but they kind of get muddy and gross in the middle because they're complements. They don't mix well, but they go good next to each other. So I first got yellow right here. So I'm going to hold my pencil off to the side, and I'm going to do circles and different directions, and I'm going to go about halfway through. The more layers I do, the brighter and darker the color will be. Remember, the goal is to get it nice and smooth with layering. There's no reason to press down really hard at first. And then my other color is violet. And you're going to overlap these colors in the middle to make it pop. You can see I'm changing the direction again. When you shade with colored pencil, it's about the same as shading with normal pencil, but there's just different intensities to the different colors. For colored pencils, for example, yellow is a very light pigment, so you'll have to use more of it for it to pop more. And like purple is a darker pigment, so you don't have to use as much. So mixing these two are a little bit harder just because they have different intensities in the pigment. I'm going to go back with my yellow and add more to brighten it up because I want my colors nice and bright. Remember, you overlap the colors in the middle so you can have that negative color or that kind of gross brownish color in the middle there. It should look something similar to that. Okay, so an example of the color temperature, you'll need 3 different colors. The first one is your base color right here, so it's yellow. The warm version is yellow-orange, and the cool version is yellow-green. Another way you can look at this is if you go all the way up to your color spectrum. If you have the yellow, so you have orange next to it and green next to it. So I'm going to take my base color. I'm going to fill in the whole entire section. Don't go too dark because you want to leave some of the white speckles showing through so you can get the other colors in the tooth of the paper. So I got yellow orange. I'm going to put yellow on top right here. We're going to be overlapping. And as you're doing this, try to have it where the colors fade off into each other. And this will force you to have a light hand. You need to learn how to have a light hand in art because not everything is so rough and eager. A lot of times you have to have a soft hand to have a good application. The other side is green. There you go. And then you can see that yellow goes into orange and then yellow goes into green. An example of using the color temperatures in the round form right here is basically just dividing the circle up into thirds. So I have yellow, green, and blue. So I'm going to draw yellow in about a third of it. Blue in a third. You're going to be overlapping your slices right here. Go very light at first. Green. I'm going to go back and brighten up my colors. Press down a little bit harder, overlap them a little bit more, and do your best to have it fade out into the other colors. You have that. So yellow, green, and blue all kind of fading out into each other. And the burnishing part, you're going to need a white colored pencil. And everyone always kind of wonders what the white colored pencil is for. You think it's for making white marks? No, it's for blending. So think of it as a blender. And when you blend or burnish your colored pencils, you need to use small little circles. And it goes in and kind of fills in and kind of smudges it all together. And I'm pressing down pretty hard for this. You only want to do this when you're completely done with your drawing and as bright as you can make it, because you're filling in all the tooth of the paper, so you can't really draw on top of it anymore. And plus, since you're using white, it kind of lightens it up a little bit. So if you use white on it, it'll make it lighter, not darker. And you can see how much smoother it is than it was before. You can see, for example, like that one, see how it's kind of gritty looking? And that one's very nice and smooth. So don't ever forget about the burnishing trick with the white colored pencil. It's a fun little trick that I learned, and I love that trick. Okay, so we have your color spectrum. So you're going from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. You're mixing complementary colors, your colored temperatures, and you're modeling your spheres using colored temperatures. There's indicators of what colors you need to use on your paper, like O is for orange, YO is for yellow, orange, things like that. Main things I'm looking for is smooth shading, so no scratchiness, and bright colors and with layering, okay? So bright colors, make sure it's not halfway done or anything like that. And the smooth layering is that it's not looking like a choppy kind of mess, but it's overlapping your colors nicely and smoothly.